top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the Branch Director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Curling Zone's live coverage here from Swift Current. My name is Sean Joyce. We're here for the joint spiel this weekend from Swift Current. We've got men's and women's action. Women on tap tonight. It's the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. And here in draw number one, some international flavors. We've got the team out of Korea. And I apologize in advance if I mispronounce any of the names. I think I can get the last names right because they're all Kim. Facing off against one of the Canadian teams from Ontario, Hollie Duncan. First end action already underway here. They did, the two teams draw to the button to determine who's got last rock in the opening end. And it was the team out of Korea winning the hammer here in the opening end. The play came into the rings early. Got a rollout, and now a couple of opportunities to get some rocks in play. This is the Duncan team throwing the Redstones here, looking for the come around. They do have shot rock just biting the back of the 8-foot. Again, Kim with last rock here in the opening end. That rock coming to rest buried in the 8-foot. They're going to look to play the run back on their own guard. on the brush, trying to hold the line straight early. This is going to over curl. She gets about half of that stone. Will peel the guard out, rolls the shooter right out of play now. Just the 2 red stones in the rings belonging to Hollie Duncan, and she'll look to put a guard on shot rock. Good start here so far for the Duncan team. You're not really in a steal situation with nothing better than full 8-foot, but a real good opportunity to get at least the force here in the opening end of play and get that all-important hammer going into the second end. Brushers have been off and on all the way down. They like the weight. This has got a lot of room yet to curl if it's going to cover up that shot stone. Needs to cross that center line, and it's going to slide in a little tight as well. Comes into the full 12-foot. So sitting 3, there is no triple there. She could perhaps make the double. That would still leave Duncan shot at the back of the 8-foot and still in a good position to try to get the force here. Looking to get a couple of reds here. This one needs to curl up just a little bit more. Makes contact with the second stone and does have enough to get it out the side. So it is Duncan now sitting 1 at the back of the 12-foot. Second shot belonging to Kim at the front 12. Hollie Duncan will look to make a play on that with her first stone here in this opening end. Try to roll over to the side a little bit and not leave a double, and still looking good for a chance to get the force. Inside brushes down early. Wants to roll away a little bit so she doesn't leave a good angle for the double. Oh, that's really nicely done. The Korean skip is Eunjung Kim. She's going to take a look at the angle for the double anyway. There's really no harm in trying it. You're probably getting forced here if you don't make the double. I guess the other option might be, and I don't know whether it's what she's looking at or not, the other option might be to try to freeze the stone in the back 12. You force Hollie Duncan to blast it out, and if she rolls out as well, you've got an open hit at the front 12 for the blank. I think if it was later on in the bonspiel, you might see her try that freeze. That's such a hard shot to play in the first end of the first game. You really don't know where to put the broom. And you don't really want to be facing 3 with your last one. Looks like she needs about half here. They're off and on from both sides. Close. That over curled a little bit on them at the end and hits it close to the nose. Stays right there. She is second shot. But it is a rock that Hollie Duncan's going to want to deal with. She doesn't leave a double for 2. Important for the Koreans, if you're not going to make the double, to at least stay there. You don't want to give Hollie Duncan that chance to practice her draw weight in game situations. And on the flip side, just as critical here for Hollie Duncan to hold on to the rings here. Doesn't have any room to roll to the outside. She'd be out of the rings, and it would give the Koreans the opportunity for the blank. She can roll back to the middle on this one. If she leaves a double, it's still probably going to be a force. This is going to have to curl, though. She's still on the outside. And just missed that opportunity. Rolls out of the rings. Still in play, but a chance for Eunjung Kim with her final stone here in the first end. If she could hit and roll out, she'll get the blank and keep that last rock advantage into the second end. Might be good for a little bit of momentum for the Koreans too. All end, this looked like they were going to get forced, and now a chance to escape. Keep that last rock into the even ends. On the brush right away. It's going to be fairly thick on this. Now, will it roll out? And does. Spin just out the back. So after one end of play, no score here from Swift Current. It's Eunjung Kim against Hollie Duncan. We'll be back for the second end right after this.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
No score here from Swift Current as we begin end number 2. The lead for the Duncan team is Tess Guyat, being asked to throw the tight center guard here. Nothing out of the sweepers yet. This will be one of those situations where you want the tight center guard, but the miss is to maybe be a little bit into the rings. I don't think they want to throw a high guard yet. With that one sliding into the rings, Eunjung Kim a chance to play the hit. Makes the hit, rolls to the corner of the 4-foot herself. Tess will look to exchange hits here. They probably wouldn't mind rolling back to the center line here. Well, you don't want to roll way out to the corner, though. You might see the Koreans throw a corner guard. This is going to roll not only to the corner, but out the back of the rings. And looks like it'll stay in play, but out of the rings. So Eunjung Kim indicating she'd like the corner guard, and it is Eunjung Kim, lead, looking to deliver it. Always nice to get a chance to play some of these rocks with last rock early in the game. So much of the pregame practice will be geared towards coming to the middle, try to get the line and the weight for that all-important draw to the button to get last rock. So this is, yeah, you're trying to set up a deuce, but it also gives you a chance to figure out what that ice is going to do towards the corner. The corner guard up and playing the 5-rock free guard zone, as in all events this year. Hollie Duncan can't do anything about the corner guard, going to look to play a tight center herself and maybe hope to keep the play away from that corner. This time they've got it in a good spot. It is the 6th rock of the end. They could make a play on that center guard, but Jo Hee Kim being asked to come around. Coming around their own corner. This is really moving towards the corner. Boy, good job by the brushers to get by. Now it needs to stop high enough in the rings to stay behind the guard. Boy, big movement to the corner here in Swift Current. That could make for some entertaining play around the corner guards. So looking to run the guard back, try to kill both stones. You saw the hand gesture, and I think just asking whether she wanted to go over the top on the second one or straight back, and I think the consensus was they're trying to go over the top, which should roll the shooter back towards the center line a bit. Maybe just a little thin on the first one, catches the guard, pushes it into the rings, and leaves the shooter where it's partially protecting that stone. Gangneung Kim being asked to replace the corner guard. And there's another look at just how big those move to the corner. That's going to completely over curl. Shot stone still exposed. Talked a moment ago about how it's nice to get a chance to practice these draws to the corner. This is another shot that they would not likely have seen in practice. So a bit of a guess here as to how much ice to take to play this hit. Megan Balston, the third. They were on the brush on this right away. She's going to be by the guard, make the hit. Actually, we're hoping to roll towards center. That got so tight by the guard, they rolled in behind the corner. It is Duncan sitting 2, albeit neither of them better than full 12-foot. A couple of guards to work with. Kim thinking she might be able to see enough of the rock in the 12-foot to perhaps play the double. At the very least, hit and roll towards the shot stone. Roll into the side of it, you're probably sitting shot rock. Be a little thin on the first stone. It is, just rolls underneath the second stone and out of play. So Duncan sitting one behind the corner guard belonging to Kim. A chance now to duck one around her own guard just a little bit off center. Maybe she can probably get full forefoot dead buried. Just full forefoot. Like she felt something underneath her slider there, so just cleaning that off and resetting. Both brushers down early is usually an indication they might think it's a little light, but boy, this has got a lot of room yet. Well, it does come to rest on a corner of the button, but almost fully exposed. Didn't get in behind the guard very well at all. First game of the Bonspiel for them. First game of the season for me on the microphone as well, and I'm trying to think back. There was a guard in the first end that under-curled as well, and you almost start to wonder if she's got one stone that perhaps curls just a little bit less. Be something for them to keep an eye on. Kyangai Kim, chance to perhaps get the roll in behind cover. They're looking for extra curl here. Not going to get it. She hits right on the nose, stays out in the open as well. Hollie Duncan, likely the discussion there all about how much weight she wants to play. She'd like to roll undercover, even if it's only about half undercover. Right now, she's got to be worried that you roll 2 inches into the open and you leave Kim a chance to roll undercover. She's just seen 2 hits come down here, one for either team, that didn't seem to want to curl. First indication from the brushers, this might be a little bit more weight than what they had in mind. They've seen 2 hits in a row run a little straight as well. So they're on the offside sweep, trying to get some curl. Just looking to get a piece right now. She will catch a corner of the stone, enough to remove it from play, but her shooter will roll out as well. Now Eunjung Kim looking to come around that same red guard. I thought she might take a quick look at coming around the yellow-red, and I grant you that the red is already in the 12 foot. The couple of draws that we saw going that direction, it sure looks like you could come around that. At the very least, you'd take the play away from the middle. Has to be in front of the tee line here and needs to bury a piece. One brush down right away, but they're not going real hard at it. Now starting to pick it up a little bit. This has certainly got better line than the earlier draw attempt, tighter to the guard. Now where is it going to slow down? It's got to stop in front of that tee line. It will come to rest about 3/4, 2/3 to 3/4 in the 4 foot. Dead behind cover. If anything, maybe a couple inches too deep. It is deep enough, I think, that if Hollie Duncan can get on the corner of it, she can sit shot rock. Pretty good shot, though, by Kim. This is not easy for Hollie Duncan. You curl an inch too far here, you're not shot rock. If you bump off a couple of inches, you leave a hit for 2. This is very precise. Line's looking nice coming in. The sweepers are off and on. This has got to be close. Boy, she needs to get right down on the corner. Oh, and I think they over curled. And that's just how tough that shot is. It curls an inch less, maybe 2 inches less, and she shot rock. They didn't dare sweep it because they didn't want to bounce off of it. So it appears to be Kim sitting 1 now and an opportunity to draw for 2 here. She does have to play a slightly different path than what she threw on her first one. Needs a little better than half 4 foot to counter 2 points. Nothing out of the brushes early on this one, and a little bit of waving action. It's usually an indication in any language that you might be just a little heavy here. Had to go just a little bit wider to play that second draw. Maybe thought it was a little bit heavier. Slides through the back, and it is just a single point here for Eunjung Kim. Still, she takes a 1.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Third end about to get underway here from Swift Current. Hollie Duncan, Eunjung Kim. Women's action here. Looks that they've called the tight center guard here. You're never sure in the odd ends whether they want to come in or not, but all indications here they were playing the guard all the way. Hollie Duncan, no hesitation. Going to look to come around that center guard now. Something to keep in mind, and I apologize as the commentator, I should have made sure of this first, but I believe they're playing the no tick zone rule here in Swift Current, and if that's the case, they have to make sure they're by that guard. It is touching the center line. Brings that stone into the top of the 4-foot. Nice draw by Tess. Looking to follow that stone down, sit on top of it. Brushers have been on this most of the way. Nice line by the guard. Will come down, sit almost on the face, nudges it back a couple of inches. Maybe gives them just a slight angle, but if anything, it puts their stone further behind cover. Tess looking to follow that stone down as well. And this one comes up well short. Acts as a second guard. A guard that she necessarily wanted either. Cho-hee Kim being asked to play one guard onto another, try to catch shot stone, and it does make contact with the third stone, but they weren't throwing big weight at it, just moves that stone back. Still nibbling the back 4-foot, and is the red stone belonging to Dean Duncan at his shot rock. Still, things getting a little plugged up in the middle. Hollie Duncan asked how much they could see of the second shot stone. I'm guessing since they're not going to make a play on it, they didn't feel they could see quite enough of it. And they would like to get shot rock somewhere in front of the tee line here, so they're going to play the come around. Got a nice line coming by the guard. I don't know if that quite got there for second shot. It's in a good spot for the Duncan team. Cho-hee Kim the second. That, I believe, is Sun Young Kim, the lead, talking with her in the half about it. They can see a piece of that rock, but I think it's just enough to pick it out and they give them the same opportunity. Looks like they're making an attempt with quieter weight here. Maybe see if they can't try to keep the shooter in the rings somewhere. Boy, a lot of room by the guard. Maybe overswept that just a little. Does catch the stone, but shooter will roll out of the ring. Stays in play. They would have liked to hit that just a sliver thicker. And if they can hang on to the 12-foot over there somewhere, it starts to become a bit of a problem for Hollie Duncan that the rocks are piling up on her. Still, I think you'd see her play this come around anyway. They were so close to making it perfect on the last one. If it slides about 6 inches further, you'd see it bury a little bit more and she'd have shot rock. this one is way out there. Freshers didn't look panicked out of her hand when she let go of that too, and we're not directly in behind, so it's hard to say for sure, but it did seem like that one had a wider path right away. Not sure whether they took more ice or if she was maybe just a little full, and it might have gotten into a different path. Might be enough of that stone available now to play the double. It's not without risk. If you hit half on that first stone, you're probably driving it onto your own in the 8-foot. It does look like she can see almost all of it. Gangneung Kim, this is a little thin. This is danger of running it onto her own. Gets it by her own, also by the red at the back. Shooter again stays in play, but out of the rings. So another chance to play the come around. Megan Ballston stayed way out there with her first one. This was her second one, and over curling early. And that over curls by quite a bit. I'm starting to think she's got one stone that might be just a little bit straighter, and if that's the case, she probably threw it first this end. If they haven't realized that it's a straighter stone after it doesn't curl, they gave her less ice on the second one, and then it just drastically over curls. Hard to know without mics on the players whether or not they're watching stuff like that. It gives Gangneung Kim the chance to get the first one in a good spot around that double center guard situation. And this has got plenty of room by the front as well. Maybe a little strong. It will come down to the shot stone and nudges it back ever so slightly. It's the yellow stone belonging to Kim at the back. 4-foot is definitely shot rock. Really tough right now to say who's second. Doesn't really matter to Hollie Duncan who's second. She wants to get something in front of the tee line behind cover, so she's not going to worry about that back stone just yet. That's the kind of stone where if this was the last rock and you thought you were sitting second, you'd make a play to move it. But for now, it's more important to get a stone in front of the tee line. And not going to do that. This deep again definitely nudges that red stone back. So it's the Duncan stone just delivered his shot rock. Kim has second and third. And with that stone at the back of the 4-foot now having a little nibble of the button, she's going to look to make a play on it. She get hit and roll over, sit 3 here. It would still give Hollie Duncan the chance to make one good draw around cover, top of the 4-foot, in front of the tee line, and perhaps set up her deuce. The other option here for Kim, you could hit this just a hair on the broom side and try to roll away from the guards. The red would clip the yellow, which would clip the red behind it. You'd still be sitting 3, but at least it wouldn't give her anything to try to freeze to. And if she makes that draw and she's only half around, there'd be nothing back there for you to jam on either. Something for the third in the house to be aware of as she calls line. That might not matter. They were on the brush right away here to try to hold it straight. Definitely would like to hold the shooter somewhere. But will not. It'll roll out of the rings. For Hollie Duncan making her way down to the hacks to throw this draw, you know, nice that you've got, this is the 4th opportunity in a row to perhaps make this draw. The downside of it is you haven't seen 2 rocks do the same thing yet. And that can always put some doubt into your mind when you're in the hacks to throw this one. One brush down early just to clean, now nothing. And this one's got a lot of room. Sweeping now to try to get some curl out of this stone, just to try to get a piece of that yellow. This is strong as well. She'll nudge it, but her shooter carries on to back 8, even catching a piece of the back 12. It is Kim sitting 2 right now. And now if you're Eunjung Kim, do you really want to come around? Or I saw them indicating full 8-foot, more or less out in the open, which would be in the way of any attempted draw path for Hollie Duncan. She wouldn't be able to hit it on the nose and get shot rock either. In a perfect world, I don't think you want to bury this one. She's off and on early. This has got tighter line coming by the front. It's going to be deep enough that she could hit it. You may as well try to bury it, but the sweepers have backed right off. I guess they were hoping it would die. I think it buried enough that it would be tricky to go after it. She'd only be able to play enough weight to really just move it back. So it looks like Hollie Duncan, her first thought anyway, her first indication was she was going to try to draw to what she could see of the corner of the button. Not an easy shot, but neither is the tap back. She did just throw the draw. Granted, she was a little bit heavy, but the line she had on her last one would be pretty close here. Final stone here for Hollie Duncan in number 3. Trailing 1-0, facing 3. needs a piece of the button to pick up her single. This will be all up to the brushers. Has to put it on the tee line. If she's on the tee line, she shouldn't give up any more than one. Boy, this is really curling. They got to get by that stone at the top of the button. Third running out to help. This might have been a little bit light as well. Not going to get by the one at the top of the 4-foot. Does nestle up against it enough for second shot. So it'll be a steal of one here for Eunjung Kim. She takes a 2-0 lead over Hollie Duncan.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back to the Saskatchewan Curling Stadium in Swift Current. We are here live for the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Men's and women's action on now through Sunday. This is the opening draw for the women. The men will be on the ice tomorrow morning. Both men's and women's spiels on at the same time here. My name is Sean Joyce. Happy to be with you tonight. And hoping you'll join us for action all day, every day, right through to the end of Sunday now. We've got action here already in this fourth end. First stone of the end brought into the top of the 4-foot. Hollie Duncan trailing by 2 here with last rock. Ignores that, throws the corner guard. Now the attempt to guard shot rock. You saw it as it finished there, just under curls a little bit. Leaves shot rock exposed. Eskayat going to make a play on shot stone, and again, has to be careful about that center guard coming by it. Got room by the guard now, curling for or sweeping for a little extra curl. Boy, that's nice control of the weight, just enough weight to move it back, but that's one of those shots that's been brought about because of the rules. You can't afford to move that guard off the center line. So you got to play that really quiet. Make sure you've got room to get by the guard. Count on some finish at the end with that quieter weight. They're looking to score here in the fourth end anyway, so it's not critical for them to get that rock out. Leaving it in the back of the 12-foot could help them. More important to get their shooter in a good spot, and they did just that. Now for Cho Hee Kim, it is her own guard. She can afford to play it a little bit tighter. But with a 2-point lead, they definitely want to make sure they get that rock out. And another good shot. Those touch shots early in an event are not easy. They don't know the ice yet that well. They would have spent most of their practice time on the draw to the button. Second, Rachel Strybosch now being asked to play the hit and roll in undercover, and this is out there a long ways. Takes the hit, but rolls the shooter all the way out of play and out of the rings and out of play. Gives the Kim team a chance to come around the center. Plenty of room by the guard. Brushers are trying to bring it in as deep as they can, looking for some finish now. Would like to get in behind cover. Comes to rest half on the forefoot, and good look at it from the back end. She does seem to be dead lined up to the guard. Just clips the guard, removes it from play, rolls the shooter out as well. Brushers backing away from this one. Doesn't want to slide in here. It might actually leave a chance for a triple. Stays just a little bit to the broom side. Double's probably there, but don't know if she can get the roll. That was the first indication from Hollie. Try to get the double on the roll. You could probably get the double on the back one and get the roll. This is one of those situations where I have to admit I don't know Hollie's team very well. If you could throw some big weight here, you could hit about 7/8 of this first one, catch the double, and still make a big roll. Don't think this is the kind of weight you need to get the roll behind the corner guard. And this is curling early. Had a bit of an extension on her release there, and you know, I don't have the luxury of instant replay. You at home can take a peek back and see yourself, but it looked like that extension might have pointed it just a little bit. Ends up over curling. Gets a little fortunate in that she hits the rock at the back, but still leaves Kim sitting 2 for now, and a chance to guard those 2 stones. Nothing out of the Brushers again. The last guard attempt slipped into the rings. This one is going to stop out in front, but it might over curl. Definitely got a piece of that stone available. Not sure she's got enough where she could make the double. Maybe just enough that she could jam it. Even if you could jam it, pop it out in the open is not a bad result as long as you keep the shooter. That seemed to be the initial indication from Hollie Duncan. I think the discussion likely at the hack end with the shooter, Megan Volston, in the front end, Rachel and Tess, is probably about what kind of weight do we need to throw to make this. Indication there from Tess, that hand signal might indicate it's not heavy anyway. Weather line's coming in nice, makes the hit. Does bump the second one back and all the way through the rings and keeps her shooter in front of that yellow shot stone. Still out in the open though. Not a lot that Eunjung Kim could do with the second shot stone. So it looks like she's going to play the guard. Still in good shape here for Kim to potentially get the steal here, at the very least a force. You do need a good guard here though. One brush just cleaning early, cleaning very lightly. Looks to have a pretty nice line now. It just needs to stop for them. Stopped at a pretty good spot, I think. Slightly overlaps the tighter guard. I don't know if Hollie's got a great angle to try a run back. It'd be risky to run a yellow onto your red anyway. Certainly the direct one doesn't look like it's there because that yellow on the left, as we look at what Hollie's looking at as she's out by the hog line. They also looked at playing the tighter of the two guards across the face of the red in the house, try to run it back that way. Great result if you make it, but it's kind of an all or nothing shot. If you don't make it, everything in the middle is still guarded. So she's going to make a play on the stone that was just delivered. I have to think she's trying to play the double peel. Those two stones look to me like they may be a little too close together to try to play the first one over the top of the second one back into the two in the house. So looking for the double peel. She gets one almost dead stuffs. It does roll it a little bit farther out. That might actually not be good though. If yeah, I would have thought she would have played the double peel the other way, try to hit it on the other, hit the second stone on the other side and roll them both, the shooter and the ray stone that way. If Eunjung Kim can make a good guard here, that stone that you just jammed is kind of blocking the draw path from the other side. Brushers picked this one up a little bit earlier. Now it's just the offside brusher looking for curl. The second brusher switches side. This is a long ways out there. She's got to get probably half in front of that red at least, just to make sure there's no chance to play the run back on it, the short little run. Brushers did a great job to bring that as tight as they could, and I think they got it deep enough that makes it tough. A little nudge on that stone on the way by, perhaps, so putting it back into place. Hollie Duncan could certainly play yellow onto red onto yellow for one. And that's probably the best shot she's got left available right now. Boy, if that guard stays up a little higher, the only shot Hollie Duncan might have to score would be the angle raise on her own stone far to the left that we can, as we look at into the house from this view. Nice thing for Hollie here, with as close as those rocks are together and the angles that they have. I don't think you could really hurt yourself playing this, and even if you don't get it quite right, I don't think you're ever giving up two. Either you make the double, the yellow rolls out as well, and you leave them for one, or you just miss the second stone. This is really starting to curl on her. Makes it perfect. Hollie Duncan picks up her single point here on the fourth end, closes to within 2-1. It'll be
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Fifth end action underway here from Swift Current. Once again, we've got rocks in play to get things underway. Center guard was thrown up first, the attempted come around. Kim's yellow stone you see at the top 12 foot, just biting the 8. This guy looks to come around that and slides a little deep to the back 4. It is mostly buried. The placement of that guard important too. Doesn't look like it's touching the center line, so it does give the Kim team a chance to come a little tighter by that rock if they want to. Don't have to worry about the no tick zone when it's off the center line. Boy, it looks like that could matter too. Does contact that stone. Boy, and that's how important that placement on that first stone was. If that stone was on the center line, they could not have done that. Had they done it, it would be a violation. The guard would go back and the other stone would have been removed from play. So, you know, something like that seems like such a little thing, but for the Duncan team, when they're trying to play comeback here, that would have made a huge difference. They'd still have a center guard to work with. As it is, Rachel Strybosch being asked to put that guard back. This, however, is the 5th rock of the end. There is no more no tick zone after this. There's no more free guard zone after this. The Kim team could start peeling guards if they so choose. Interesting. That guard stayed fairly high and left the stone on the top of the 12 foot exposed for possible run back. Really, with the curl that we've seen so far in that ice, that guard that was just thrown, it's up so high. I'm not sure it really is ever going to hurt the Kim team. Anything you can draw around that stone, you could probably get to it with hack weight. This is going to over curl on them, looking to run that yellow back onto the red. It over curls. Will remove her own stone, rolls to the corner. Does sit for second shot with last rock here in the 5th end. That's a stone Hollie Duncan's not going to want to leave behind. She doesn't want to give up an opportunity for more than one here. So she'll ask for that to be removed. Look to roll back towards the middle. Strybosch with the hit, rolls over, does sit for second shot, biting the top of the 4 foot. Boy, that's close to dead behind that long guard. Now again, with the amount of curl that we've seen, they can definitely get to that, but you know, if you're Hollie Duncan, at the very least, you force them into a more delicate shot here. Only the 5th end. There's lots of time. You don't have to be thinking steal here, but you certainly don't want to give up the chance for the blank. You'd like to at least get a force. So making the Kim team play these delicate shots where it can be difficult to get a rock all the way out of the rings, that's important. Boy, they went hard just to catch a piece of that stone. Ends up just rubbing it, touches both reds, and rolls the yellow out of play. They might have been better off to go to plan B and just hit the back one and make sure that their shooter stayed in the rings. They swept so hard for curl trying to get that stone out of the top of the 4 foot, but maybe should have just swept it for straight line and tried to hit the back stone. At least force Hollie Duncan to have to make a play on shot rock. As it is, another chance to make a draw. This is the one where if you could come full 12 foot around the longer guard, you'd sit 3, but it actually works as a nice tight guard for that stone corner of the 4 foot. protect all of it, of course. Oh boy, the way this is curling, you might protect all of it. Has to get there, though. It's going to come up a little bit short. You can see what I mean. It overcurled the longer guard, even where it is. It, coming from the other side of the guard, it overcurls and protects a little bit more of shot rock. I think the indication from Kim was they can only see enough to pick it out. If that's the case, they might be better off to just try to play the double peel. Needs to be a little thicker on the first one, wants to catch the second one over the top, but it'll drive it just by. Shooter rolls all the way out of play. Bit of a decision now for Hollie Duncan. On the one hand, I get what she's thinking, probably thinking that, you know, all we've got is a rock just biting the forefoot at the edge of the four. Probably not a good enough rock to steal with. So her first indication was to bring one in, but I think they've decided to throw another guard. I think that's the right call. An old school of thought on this one, and if your opponent was willing to peel the guard on the last one, then maybe they didn't like it enough that you should put it back. This one a little bit tighter. That double peel might be a little easier now. It actually is set up on an angle where if they were to try to double peel, it might come back and clip one of the rocks in the rings. A young guy, Kim. Again, just drives it by the second stone. This time, shooter stays in play, and that could matter because that stone is, at the very least, in your eye if you had to try to make a draw to the button with the in-turn on your final stone. Might not be in the way. That again, it might. I think we're going to find out right here. I don't think Hollie Duncan's playing the straight guard here. I think she's trying to come in. I see a lot of hands up and waving, indicating that they might feel this is on the stronger side of the weight. Had to wait for it to come off the yellow guard anyway, now starting to curl. Boy, big movement from the hog line in here in Swift Current. She was closer to that yellow guard than she ends up buried. might be able to get at shot rock and able to get to the inside of it, but I don't think she could roll far enough to be shot. So looking to move that center guard back, perhaps across the face of the one that was just thrown. You want to get rid of at least 2 reds here and ideally roll your shooter off the center line. You don't ever like to be too greedy when you play a shot like this, but you know, just the way they're angled, there's certainly a possibility she could get 3 red moving. And I'm not entirely certain if you didn't hit this just right, you might be able to get all 4 of them. Come across the face on the one that was just thrown, and if it just catches the edge of the one on the forefoot, it could come straight back enough to perhaps get the 4th one moving. Has to stay on the broom side though. This is going to over curl. Just touches the one that Hollie Duncan just threw and ends up dead stuffing on what was shot rock. Duncan now sitting 3 again. Shot rock is probably half behind cover. Mind you, there is a pocket there. Kim could hit them right in the crotch, so to speak, and make the double. It's just, I'm not sure she'd be shot rock, and I don't know if Hollie Duncan's looking at that. Do you need to guard the double? You could come right in and sit on top of it. She's playing this as a straight guard. I think that if I'm throwing this, I want to be at least 12 foot. She's got nothing on the other side of the house. Well, I think if you freeze the pocket of those 2 reds, you're stealing at least 2. She opted to play the guard, made the guard. I think Kim's going to have to play the run back, yellow into the 2 reds. And again, if she makes it dead perfect, I'm still not sure she scores, but at least it would only be a steal of 1. It's really hard to tell with that. When you run it back, if you make it perfect and stick it right there, will the raised stone be enough into the 8 foot to beat that stone at the back of the 8? And it's close. It's hard to tell from here. Coming from the angle it's going to be coming at. If she hits the one on the center line first and then the other, it will actually spin up a little bit as well. If that happens, I think you can safely assume it's going to be a steal of 1. I guess there is a possibility she could make. I don't know. I was going to say she might be able to make the triple, but I don't think so. I think if you hit it at the angle for the one at the top of the 4 foot to catch the one at the back of the 8, you're not coming across and getting the one in front of the 8 foot. We'll find out in about 6 seconds. Makes the hit for the run, catches the 2 reds, pushes them far enough back that it looks to me like it's going to be a steal of 1. Boy, it's close. Maybe I spoke too soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see the measure.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back. So I do believe they had to measure there to determine who had the point in the fifth end. And given that it is Kim getting into the hacks, it does look like she was able to pick up the single. Calling for this first stone right into the ring. She's got a 2-point lead as they begin play here in the sixth end. Sean Joyce with you live on Saskatchewan Curling Stadium. Swift Current Curling Club. Home of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. This is the opening draw, women's play. And then we'll be on the ice tomorrow morning. Catch all of the action all weekend long here on the Curling Stadium YouTube channels. Hollie Duncan with last rock here, trailing by 2 in the sixth. Going to ignore that stone in the rings, asking Tess Guyette for a corner guard. I have to admit, I didn't see the indication there. Eunjung Kim, the lead, being asked to make the play towards center again. I would assume they're looking to come right into the rings again. She might have been playing the center guard. Oh, she's going to get the center guard. Out with a 2-point lead, they might look to come right in. Guyette with the corner guard on her first one, looking to come around it now here with her second. Will slide a little bit deep, but does hang on, back 12 foot. His second shot. Sliding that far back, actually it slides out into the open as well, though. Kim with the hit. Rolls the shooter out of play. Probably didn't want to stay back there anyway. This is a situation where if you're the Kim team, you didn't have to be too aggressive here, and you certainly didn't want to leave any rocks behind the tee line. Well, I think the call there was they were trying to come by that garden, make a move on the shot stone, move it back. That works out not bad for them either, though. They move the guard back to the back of the house. Maybe would have liked to roll their own off the center line a little bit more. Stone at the back 12 foot's not bothering them. And for Hollie Duncan, she's got two guards of her own to work with now. She tries to set something up here in the sixth end. He came with a nice draw. Comes in, sits on the corner of her own shot stone, sits to the 4 foot, third shot sitting at the back 12. And the stone that was just delivered pretty much dead in behind the red center guard. The team's going to throw a little bit more weight at it now. They need to move those rocks out of the 4 foot area. It's Strybosh looking for the nose hit. This is close. Maybe just over curled a hair. Will catch the two yellows at the top of the 4, but the top one is just going to jam and stay right there. And a little unfortunate as they caught the stone at the back 12, but jam it as well and leave it biting the corner of the 12 foot. Shooter still offering some protection to that shot rock. First indication from Kim was to play the same draw, but it's the other edge of the stone that's guarded now, and you can't leave Hollie Duncan a chance to get to shot stone through that port because she's actually queued up to roll behind her own corner guard if you do that. So she's going to try to come between those two reds, still play it into the rings. Another one where with the amount of finish that we see here, she actually will need to be tighter to the red corner guard than the center. She's going to get the line she wants. Kind of handcuffs the sweepers a little bit because it's out there for a long time and they have to wait for it to curl. This one might not curl enough for them. They'll rattle off that stone. Rolls enough to fill the hole. Megan Ballston with the run back attempt. Got two corner guards to work with too. If she can stick this in the rings somewhere. A lot to work with, but again, it just seems to be that's the way the game has gone so far for the Duncan team. It's not like she missed that shot by a lot, but just an inch on the wrong side. If she hits an inch on the other side, she probably clips that stone out of the rings, at the very least. As it is, drives it by the stone at the top of the button and rolls her shooter in front of it. And now it's another chance for Eunjung Kim. Try to come around, sit 2 in the 4-foot behind cover. They would also have third shot stone just biting the back of the 12. This has got a lot of room early. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Waited as long as they could, then swept from the offside to get that little bit extra curl, and actually sits nicely on the face of their own stone. Those are lined up pretty nicely. You might have seen Megan make her way down and have a little chat with Hollie after her first one, perhaps wanting to clarify how she threw it. There's another one of those stones, and we saw this once earlier, where she's got a bit of an extension on her hits, and the extension on that one was not what I'd call straight at the broom. She kind of pointed it in just a little bit. Once you do that, they really curl. Does open up the center line. The bad news for Hollie Duncan is the one red stone that you've got out in front has stayed staggered with another yellow. I'm not sure she could even run it on the angle and catch those 2 in the 4-foot. Eunjung Kim, chance to just throw a center guard here. Steal here would go a long ways towards putting this game away. And really, with the situation she's in right now, a steal at 2 is not out of the question. Brushers picked it up early. Just the one brusher, but she's going at a fair clip. Now they've switched. Manages to bring that just far enough to close any kind of opening. Cover shot rock, or the 2 shot rocks, kind of on an angle. Hollie looking at the run back. It would be tough to kill any more than one of those 2 stones in the 4-foot, but even if you could bounce the second one over a little bit, you'd open up a little bit more room to try to score. Didn't look at playing any kind of run on the red at all, and I don't blame her. It's tough to tell from the camera angle, but it kind of looks like there isn't the right angle available with that red-yellow combination. I don't think you can run it directly onto the yellows in the rings. You run it a little bit over the top, but that doesn't help you. Hollie Duncan with her first stone here in 6, trailing by 2. Looking to get out of a little bit of trouble here. And nothing out of the brushers on this one. She's got to get close to the nose just to make contact with the 2 in the rings, and not going to. So another opportunity here for Eunjung Kim to simply play the guard. Sit 2 in the forefoot. Yes, she'll have third shot way over in the back 12-foot. But it's those 2 in the forefoot area that Hollie Duncan is not going to be able to do anything about them, and I don't know that she can. She certainly can't draw for shots. She might be able to catch enough of the forefoot to get second shot at the side of the four. Won't hurt them if this comes in a little bit. Boy, you'd hate to slide in far enough to leave her a triple. That actually could be her easiest way out. I think it stopped just in time. Even if you made the triple, and I'm not sure it's there, I think it stopped early enough. That stone at the back 12-foot would still be shot rock. So for Hollie Duncan, looking to throw a draw with her final stone. Got to get full forefoot, edge of the button, and this is just to give up a steal of 1 here. She has had a few struggles here with draw weight here in this opening draw. It'd be nice to pick this one up for confidence, if nothing else. Realistically, she needs to hold them to 1 here to have any kind of shot in this game. Line's nice coming in. Pressure's not doing much with it. It's actually going to get tight to that yellow at the top of the 4, rubs it just a little bit, and does come to rest right on the tee line. A piece of the button. It will be a steal of 1 for Eunjung.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Six ends complete here in the opening draw from the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Sean Joyce with you here live on the SaskTel Curling Stadium. From Swift Current, Eunjung Kim with a 3-point lead here as we begin playing the 7th end. First stone here was brought into the rings, the corner guard. The second one brought into the center. Hollie Duncan ignoring the two yellow stones in the rings to come around that corner guard. Not necessarily looking to be in with this. This could be a call for the second corner guard. Judging from the way they swept that, I think that's what they were playing all the way. You do see some teams play it this way nowadays with the two corner guards longer and tighter on the same side of the sheet. And that's just because with the amount of curl that we see here, and certainly you're seeing it in play so far in this game, if you throw a corner guard on both sides, they could both be in the way of your potential draw to the button with your last stone. So play your two corner guards to the same side. Try to set your deuce up behind those and keep that path to the button open for your last shot. And hopefully that's your shot for the extra point. A lot of rocks yet to come before you worry about that, though. Fifth stone of the end here. The Kim team can't make any kind of play on those corner guards, so looking to protect that situation in the center. Not really so much about trying to set up the steal as just to put some pressure on the Duncan team, force them to throw at least one hit in the middle to try to clean things up. It did come a little bit tight and leaves a little bit of an angle. There is a chance here, I think, for Rachel Strybosch to perhaps move all three yellows and roll off to the corner. Picked up the brush right away. I'd like to stay just a hair on the broom side. This is going to over curl again, and that's the problem the Duncan team has had all game. Just over curls a hair, drives it by the stone at the top of the 12-foot, and the shooter rolls well off to the corner. Now we're on the 7th stone of the end. No more free guards. And the Kim team, with second Cho-hee Kim, looking to start peeling guards. On the brush right away here, makes the hit. Shooter will come across and rolls all the way out of play. Season time here early in this end for Hollie Duncan. Looking to come around their own corner guard tight. I thought she might look, and it didn't look like they discussed it. Hard to tell. She could have played the corner guard here now on the other side, just so that she doesn't leave any kind of doubles. You know the Kim team is going to look to hit something here. If you make this good enough, you force them to play the double, and if they make it, you got nothing left to work with. Made that draw really nice. But you can see it leaves that little bit of angle where the Kim team can make a run at the double and probably still roll off of it. I don't think there's any chance she ever jams that stone at the back of the 8-foot and stays in front of it. She's going to be rolling if she jams it. She'd like to drive it just over the top, make the double, and roll her shooter at least to the center line. I don't think she can make the double and roll out. Boy, this is close. She jams the second stone, but there, good look at it. With the jam, her shooter is not in front of it, so that stone that was jammed back is second shot right now. It is open. Duncan has to start to consider how she's going to get at shot rock. Doesn't have to move it on this stone, and And the indication, I saw the little tap of the hand, which is usually like a hack to bumper weight. Doesn't need to throw big weight here. Doesn't need to kill the shot stone. More important to get the hit and roll under cover here. Sit second and third after this, and you're in pretty good shape. Try to score 2. Makes the hit. Does touch the second stone. Not going to get either one of them out of the rings. That does move the shot stone back behind the tee line now, so it is Kim sitting shot, the stone just nibbling the back edge of the 4-foot. Duncan, the stone full 8-foot at the 9 o'clock position, is second shot. Kim's got third at the back 12. The Duncan stone at the front 12 is fourth, but it's still in a great position. Looking for the hit and roll off second shot. They were on the brush early. This is another one of those ones, if you roll a little too far and it's behind the tee line again, you start to create a bit of a wall back there. Things are starting to turn around here in this 7th end for Hollie Duncan. You could almost, well, I think you could realistically say this is advantage Duncan right now. Nothing on the center line. He's got kind of a double corner draw, albeit tight. The yellow-red on the left from the overhead view as we see it. And 3 rocks behind the tee line. If she can get something in front of them, it becomes a little trickier for Kim to remove. Brushers were on this one right away, though, and they have not left it. Needs to get 8-foot out of this. Has to get by her own stone at the top 12. Boy, what a great job by the brushers. They bring that right down, and it will sit right on top of shot stone. Becomes shot stone itself. Kim can't get at it directly to move it. She kind of looked like she was looking at the double run back, but I don't think that red stone's going anywhere, and there's a chance with the double run that you leave 2 reds in the rings. Yes, you know, if you're Hollie Duncan, that stone did slide behind the tee line, but you're 3 down here as you begin playing the 7th. If you can force Eunjung Kim to play a draw like this with her first stone, you've given yourself a chance, and they've got to be happy with where that one ended up. Boy, even if she makes the freeze and it's just on the corner, that yellow-red at the top could be run back. The red that was just thrown is not going anywhere. Brushers picked this one up early. Both brushers going. Looks to have room, but if she's tight by the one at the top of the 12-foot, even by the time she made it to the 4, she might overcurl. This is just not going to have the legs to get there. And for Hollie Duncan sitting 1 right now, kind of made it look like they were looking at coming to the back one. Not sure you'd be second shot, but there is a double run on the yellow-red onto the red in the 4-foot to kill the yellow at the back, so you could get 3 that way. Now looking at playing the wide-out turn draw and sit on the face of her own. The one shot that doesn't look like they've considered yet is the in-turn draw around the one that Kim just threw. It looks like the easiest shot. It's definitely there from what we've seen of this game. They played a number of draws down this direction, and they just seem to go sideways from the hog line in. She can get around a rock in the front of the 12-foot. The only thing she's maybe worried about there is that it is a yellow stone, and she thinks perhaps Kim will run it back. They do settle on that in-turn draw, coming around the stone that was just delivered. Yellow stone at the top of the 12-foot is going to act as a guard if she can make this nicely. Needs a solid bite of the 4-foot to get second shot. Plenty of room, but this is where they start to break. Doesn't need to be necessarily dead buried, even if it's half around. Does need to stop in front of the tee line, though. Boy, that might have slid just a little bit deep. Well, the first indication from the Kim team is they look playing the slash red. That's ultra dangerous. I think if you can see enough of the yellow at the 12-foot to run it back, you could play that. Otherwise, I think you're probably drawing to sit right on top of it. This is one of those ones where part of you is thinking it'd be nice to have mics on the players, and then you realize they're probably not speaking a language I could understand. It's a little tough to tell from the overhead if she can she might be able to just see all of that yellow stone in the 12-foot. If she can, that's enough to run it back. There's a little danger with that for sure. You could run yellow at the 12-foot onto the shot stone, jam it onto the stone at the back 8-foot, and have the raised stone roll across shot stone, and you could still leave a chance for 3. If you ever hit it center line side onto what is second shot rock right now, you could leave a shot for 3. Boy, I think it'd be awfully tempting to make just follow it down with draw weight. You sit right on the face. How does Hollie Duncan score even 2? Makes the run. Actually leaves her run back stone in such a good spot. I still think Hollie Duncan's only going to have a shot for 1. I don't see. She rolled to a good stagger. Well, a great final shot for Eunjung Kim. She's had a great game. Her final shot here in 7. The run back, kills shot stone, rolls over, sits on the corner. The other 2, dead behind cover, staggered them, so there's no kind of run back left available. And all Hollie Duncan's got left is to try to draw to the button, pick up a single point. And if she can do that, she'll still be trailing by 2 without last rock coming home. In an end where it looked like she might have had a chance to pick up her deuce. Probably slid a little too deep on her last one. Certainly the opportunity to hit it the way she did, not there if that rock's about a foot, 1.5 higher. Just needed to be about half. 4 foot, didn't want to be all the way into that button area. She'd like to be in that button area now. Rushers picked this one up a lot earlier. Have not left it yet. And this is going to come up short of the rings. It's a steal of one more. Eunjung Kim with a 4-point lead after 7 ends of play. Quick discussion from the Duncan team. Looks like we're going to see the 8th end.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day a year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Duncan team with a good discussion, deciding to play on here in the 8th end. I had an opportunity during the break to take a quick peek at the draw. They are playing round robin pools here, and I think the factor in this, and you see this in these types of bond skills all the time when you're playing round robin pools, it's an opening draw. They haven't had a lot of chance to see the ice yet and have had some struggles. Well, they don't play again until 9 o'clock tomorrow night, so this is one where you maybe want to play this last end, play a good end. Certainly 4 points not impossible with the free guard zone. 3s we see all the time. You do need a couple breaks to go your way. They do have a nice spread on those corner guards to start the end. Still just the 5th rock of the end, so the Tim team can't look to remove those corners. It looked like they were kind of playing a gentle little tick just to change the position of it. Rubs it a little bit. Shooter ends up at the top of the 12-foot. You can see Hollie Duncan ignore that, look to come around one of those corner guards. It's like the wider of the two, the one on the right as we look at it from the overhead. So playing the out turn. nicely in behind cover. Probably would have liked a little bit more separation. Kim will ask. Second, also Kim, Cho-hee Kim. Simply to make the peel and roll towards the middle, but this is one of those ones where if you over curl a little bit, you get the double on the reds as well. Comes across, nudges her own stone at the top of the 12, moves it up a little bit. The shooter rolls all the way across and out of play. Still a couple of rocks to work with for Hollie Duncan. She'll look to come around her own corner guard right now, and eventually, if she has to, and if she gets the opportunity, she'll use that yellow stone in the 12-foot as a guard as well. Nice line by the guard, and this one's going to be a little bit deeper. Kim out to look at the angle on the peel, wants to peel the guard, but she's very aware of that angle. There might be the chance she can get over the top of the yellow and get into that red at the other side of the house, maybe get a double. Even if you're a little thin on the first one, come across and hit the yellow, that won't upset them either. Actually gets over the top of the yellow, does make the double on the red in the rings and all the way through the back and out of play. That is a great shot. That's where if you're the second stone, you just open well. They'll put the camera on me right after I throw that shot. I'm just going to stand here and look cool as a cucumber. Does mean the only protection that Duncan's got left to work with is that yellow stone at the top of the 12. She'll look to come around it, knowing full well that the Kim team's going to make a play on the open red stone. Boy, that's a good shot. She's got it buried at the back 12. And, you know, it's a little thing, but those types of shots are tougher than they look because you're very rarely trying to throw a rock to the back of the 12-foot on purpose, but you have to in that situation. Because if things are going to work for you this end, you have to be able to get around that yellow stone more than once. So a stone in the top 4-foot really doesn't leave you the room. Does mean there's an opportunity for the slash double here that could end the game. On the brush early. Makes the hit, does drive it back and catches that second stone, will kill it. And with that, Hollie Duncan out of stones. It's handshakes. Eunjung Kim and her team from Korea picking up the win here in their opening round draw at the Nutrien Ag Western Showdown. Glad you could join us here tonight. We will be here again on Curling Stadium, Saskatchewan Curling Stadium, all weekend long. Action starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Saskatchewan time, and carries on to Sunday afternoon, men's and women's play. My name is Sean Joyce. Thanks for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you here all weekend long on the Saskatchewan Curling Stadium.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like. Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.